Chaos Linked. Book 1. Deep Breaths. Chapter 6. Fall. The wind roars in his ears, a deafening, howling force that drowns out everything else. The world spins around him, the black void of space giving way to streaks of blue, white, and gray. His body plummets through the atmosphere, caught in gravity's unrelenting grasp, weightless yet crushing all at once. White-hot pain lances through his side first, then a sharp, searing bolt, like a blade has been driven between his ribs and then twisted. It starts there, localized, agonizing, but then it starts spreading. Fast. The burning ache coils around his lungs, squeezing, strangling. Too tight. Too much. Every inhale drags shards of fire into his ribs. Every exhale sends another jolt of agony rippling through his body. His breath comes in short, uneven gasps, his vision tunneling at the edges. His body convulses mid-fall, the force of re-entry pressing against him like an unrelenting hand, shoving him down, down, down. His limbs feel so detached, foreign, barely responsive. He tries to move, to orient himself, but the pain flares brighter, ripping through his chest like something is tearing apart from the inside. This is what it must feel like to die. He's ready. He had known it was coming, had felt the weight of his body failing, knew his strength had bled away the moment he pushed himself too far. But this is worse than he had imagined. It isn't the sharp finality of a battle wound. It isn't a quick, clean end. It's slow. It's lingering. His stomach lurches, nausea curling like a vice, but there's nothing left to fight against it. The pain in his chest worsens with every second. It crushes him, suffocating, intense. He can feel his pulse hammering, erratic, each beat rattling through his skull, his ribs, his spine. Something is wrong. He tries to take another breath. Nothing. His throat closes, his lungs refusing to expand. The agony is unbearable, like a weight has lodged itself against his rib cage, pressing too much. His fingers curl, twitching, desperate to grab onto something, anything, but there's only open air.
I can't.
Another gasp, another failure. His body refuses him, ribs locking up, pain spiking from his side, his chest and his throat. The atmosphere rages around him, the friction burning against his fur. The force of gravity dragging him down faster, harder. He isn't sure what hurts more. The suffocation, the fire, or the crushing sensation that his body is giving up. The air thickens around him as he falls through the clouds, but it doesn't help. Every inhale is thin, ragged, useless. His vision blurs, flashing between black and red, shapes distorting, warping. He can't tell which way is up anymore. This is it. His body is failing. His mind is slipping. His limbs are nothing but dead weight. He is plummeting toward the earth, and there is nothing he can do to stop it. At least that means he will see her again. Maria. He can almost hear her voice, soft and kind, calling his name. He can almost feel her presence, the way she used to hold his hand when he was afraid. It's been so long. Much too long. The thought brings a fragile peace, slipping between the cracks of the agony. He lets his body go limp, eyes fluttering closed, his last breath rattling against the pain in his chest. He's ready. Ready to see her. After everything he's done, he deserves this. The sky rushes past, the heat intensifies, the pressure builds. And then darkness. They've been waiting. For hours. No explanations. No updates. Nothing. Just silence. Tom finally snaps. He storms to the door and pounds his fist against the metal.
Hey. Someone needs to tell us what is going on with our son.
His voice echoes off the walls, sharp and demanding. No response. Maddie's fingers dig into her sleeves, her breathing shallow.
They can't just ignore us. They can't keep us in here like this.
She whispers, shaking her head. Tom turns back, jaw tight.
They're not.
He spins around again, slamming his palm against the reinforced door.
Do you hear me? Someone better start talking or I swear.
Still nothing. Tom presses both hands against the door and trying to keep himself from completely losing it. Every second they spend locked in here is another second they aren't with Sonic, another second their kid is alone in this place, and they have no idea what's happening to him. What Gunn might be doing to him, and the thought makes Tom sick. A heavy metallic click echoes through the room as the lock shifts. Maddie jumps to her feet from the metal bench. Tom stiffens, bracing himself. A guard stands in front of them, arms crossed over his chest, his expression unreadable. The dim overhead light casts sharp shadows over his face, making his presence feel even more imposing.
Only one of you can see him. Orders.
Maddie tenses beside Tom, her hands curling into fists.
That's not fair. He's our son. We should both.
Not up to me. Only one of you. That's it.
Tom feels Maddie tremble beside him, her breath hitching as she fights the immediate protest rising in her throat. He steps in before she can, placing a steadying hand on her arm.
You should go.
He says, voice softer, more certain than he feels. Maddie shakes her head, gripping her arms as if trying to hold herself together. Her eyes filled with unshed tears find his.
What if I can't handle it? What if I break down in front of him? I don't want that to be the first thing he sees.
Tom searches her face, torn between understanding and wanting to push her toward something she clearly isn't ready for.
I'll go.
She squeezes his wrist in silent gratitude, her fingers shaking.
Please, just tell me how he's doing.
He cups her cheek, pressing a soft kiss to her forehead before pulling away. The guard steps aside, motioning for Tom to follow. With one last glance at Maddie, he steps forward. Some guy, Kyle, Tom reads on his ID badge, is waiting just outside, his arms folded.
Follow me.
Tom doesn't respond, but he obeys. As they walk, they pass a reinforced cell. Tails jumps up, probably having heard their door opening, and he tries to see through the small window.
Tom, is that you? Please. What's happening to Sonic? Is he okay? Let us see him.
The guard doesn't hesitate.
Shut up. Stupid fox.
Tails' pleas immediately fall silent. Tom's fists clench so hard it hurts. He forces himself to keep walking, jaw so tight it might crack. He wants to make this guy regret ever speaking to his youngest son like that, but he can't. Not now. Not when Sonic needs him.
I'm gonna check on him,
he says, hoping it brings Tails some comfort. Is Knuckles with him too? He hopes so. The corridor stretches long and cold until the guard opens a door that leads into a control room. It's eerily quiet, the kind of silence that makes the hairs on his arms stand up. Every step feels heavier, the weight of the unknown pressing against his chest. Kyle finally speaks as they approach a reinforced glass wall that overlooks a stasis pod below.
He's stable. His vitals are within normal ranges, and his condition has improved significantly.
Tom barely hears him. His eyes are locked on the figure suspended in the pod. Sonic, his son, floating in a sea of blue, weightless and unmoving. His quills drift slightly in the liquid, his small body unnaturally still. The glow of the pod casts soft, shifting light across his face, making him look almost peaceful. Too peaceful.
Sonic hates water. When he wakes up, he's gonna freak out.
Which is why he needs to be here when Sonic does wake up.
Can I?
Tom can't help but ask, knowing what the answer is likely going to be, but he has to try. Surprisingly, Kyle nods and he leads Tom down the stairs into the main room with the pod. Beeping comes from one of the machines that must be monitoring Sonic's vitals. The sound sends a chill through him, reminding him of the hospital monitors. His breath catches and he places a hand against the glass, hoping that somehow, some way Sonic can feel his presence.
Has he woken up yet?
Tom asks, his voice hoarse. He's just glad that Sonic isn't having trouble breathing anymore. Kyle adjusts his glasses, a beat of hesitation before he answers.
No.
Tom furrows his brow. Something about Kyle's tone doesn't sit right. He'd answered too fast. Tom isn't sure he believes him. Kyle can already tell that Tom wants to argue.
This is the best environment for him. His body is being regulated in ways we wouldn't be able to replicate outside of containment.
Tom forces himself to breathe evenly.
You're keeping him locked up like some kind of test subject.
We're keeping him alive. There's a difference. If you hadn't brought him here when you did, he very likely wouldn't have made it.
Tom turns to glare at him.
What's the difference? He's not just some specimen to keep alive to poke and prod at. He just saved the world from getting obliterated by a cannon, and this is how you repay him.
Kyle stares at Tom in disbelief.
Sonic stopped the Eclipse cannon?
Tom nods, but suddenly he's not sure if he should be revealing this information.
With Shadow's help.
Kyle's face is unreadable, but there's a flicker of something in his expression.
You didn't think to mention this before.
Tom scoffs.
What, you think this is some kind of normal thing I just forget to bring up in casual conversations? Oh yeah, my kid stopped a weapon of mass destruction that your organization made Robotnik build. By the way, real easy to just slip that into small talk. You didn't exactly ask either.
And this isn't exactly a casual conversation. Kyle ignores his sarcasm, his mind clearly racing.
How? How did he stop it?
Why does this guy want to know so bad? So he can help Sonic some more?
I don't know. He said he and Shadow worked together. That's all I know. But this is how you repay him.
Kyle meets Tom's glare without flinching.
We are repaying him, Tom. We're protecting him.
His voice is still infuriatingly calm, clinical, like he's explaining something obvious.
You think this is punishment? That we want to keep him in there? We're doing what's necessary to make sure he doesn't deteriorate again. If we let him go too soon and something happens to him, what then?
Tom's stomach sinks. He doesn't like what Kyle is saying, but it's true. If he and Maddie advocate for Sonic to come out of the pod too soon, only for his condition to worsen, Kyle's voice interrupts his downward spiral.
Saving the world doesn't make him immune to whatever's happening to him. It doesn't change the fact that his vitals were failing, or that his body is still showing anomalies we don't understand. He was in a lot of physical pain when he arrived, but there was no evidence of physical pain.
What's that supposed to mean?
Tom wonders to himself, wanting to scream. Like how Maddie couldn't find anything there? This guy isn't making any sense. Kyle's voice drops just slightly.
We're not taking chances, Tom, not with him.
He doesn't care about Kyle's detached, logical explanations. All he hears is that his son is still locked up like some kind of experiment.
I get it, Kyle. I do. But taking him away from us, locking him up, instead of letting him be with his family isn't the solution.
He steps closer, glaring at Kyle like he's daring him to argue.
You're so afraid of what you don't understand that you're treating him like a case study, instead of a kid. But that kid, my kid, deserves better than this. And if you really care about him, you'd be looking for a way to help him without keeping him behind glass. He's not some virus that's going to wipe out humanity.
Kyle shakes his head.
You don't know that. None of us do. What if it's something more? What if it is something dangerous?
He's not dangerous.
Tom insists, putting emphasis on he. Sonic isn't in it.
He's just a kid.
Tom repeats firmly. He's going to repeat it until it's drilled into Kyle's big head. When are these people going to get that? What is it going to take for them to see Sonic as what he really is? An innocent child who doesn't deserve this. Who deserves the kind of care that any other kid would receive. Commander Walters may have started off rough around the edges, but he'd finally come around. Why can't Gun itself? Kyle remains unmoved.
A kid who is displaying anomalies we don't understand. Anomalies that could threaten not just him, but others. What happened to Project Shadow after stopping the Eclipse cannon?
Tom forces himself to swallow the bitter response sitting at the tip of his tongue. Shadow wasn't their test subject either, and he's definitely not just some project.
Sonic said he didn't make it.
Shadow. Based on what Sonic had told him, Shadow was another kid that the world let down. Tom isn't even mad at him for what he'd done back in London. It was an accident. Kyle lets out a small huff of disappointment.
Too bad. I would have loved to see him again.
Again, Tom ignores the urge to throw punches. So Shadow has been here once, like Randall had said when he'd mentioned the last asset. Shadow hadn't been an asset, and neither is Sonic. Tom presses his forehead against the glass with his hand still in the same position.
We're gonna get you out of here, buddy. I promise.
The beeping steadies, then slows, but Tom doesn't miss the momentary spike. So he continues.
I don't know if you can hear me, but just hold on, okay? We're gonna fix this. I'm so sorry for bringing you here, but we had to.
Sonic doesn't move. He doesn't stir, but the beeping becomes quicker again. A sharp hand grabs Tom's arm, jerking him back. The guard's grip tightens as he pulls him away.
That's enough.
Tom resists, his muscles tensing, but a glance at Kyle tells him he won't win this fight. Not here, not now. His heart pounds as he casts one last look at his son.
I'll come back for you. I promise.
He whispers as he's led away, resisting the urge to run. The guard forces him out of the room, the heavy door sealing behind them. Maddie is waiting for him back in their cell, arms wrapped around herself. The second she sees his face, she stiffens.
How is he?
Tom exhales shakily.
He looks okay. He looks like he's sleeping.
Maddie isn't sure she likes the image that description brings up. She feels like Tom is keeping something from her, but she's not sure that she wants to hear it.
Did he wake up? Did he see you?
Tom hesitates, shaking his head.
No. But I think.
He swallows, thinking back to how the vitals monitor beeped faster when he talked to Sonic.
I think he knew I was there.
Maddie wipes at her eyes, nodding. Then she steps closer and grips his hand.
You should be the first one he sees when he wakes up.
His heart aches at the way she says it. Like she's scared. Like she thinks seeing Sonic might break her completely. He squeezes her hand.
We'll both be there, together.
Rain lashes against the pavement, the air thick with tension. His breath comes in sharp, steady bursts, his fists clenched at his sides. The battle rages around him. Gun soldiers, chaos, the weight of his mission pressing down on him like an iron cage. And then Walters. No, something is wrong. In the split second before he strikes, his target's face twists, morphing flesh and features reshaping from the enemy, who locked him away, turning into someone else entirely. The human that Sonic had cared so much for. Tom? But it's too late. His fist slams into Tom's stomach with devastating force. The impact sends him flying backward, his body hitting the pavement hard, breath knocked clean from his lungs. He doesn't get up. The weight of it settles in his gut like lead. Tom doesn't even fight back. He just lays there, gasping for air, pain etched across his face not just from the hit, but from confusion, from fear. From the realization that Shadow had seen an enemy, not some random human who has nothing to do with gun. Sonic drops to his knees beside the human, pressing his against his chest as if he can will the pain away. The raw panic in his voice sends a chill up and down his spine. It's all because of him.
Dad! Come on! We gotta go! Please wake up, Dad!
He watches it unfold all over again. He watches Tom hit the ground, watches the pain surge across his face, watches himself standing there, fists still clenched, not moving, not helping, just watching. Tom is staring at him again, no longer on the pavement, but standing before him, hand against glass while he finds himself trapped in the stasis pod again. Shadow reaches back, placing his hand against Tom's from behind the glass. I'm sorry, he wants to say, but no words come out. Tom says something first.
You don't have to be alone.
The words cut deeper than they should. Because he doesn't deserve them. Not after he had mistaken Tom for the one man he despises most. Not after almost destroying the world. His vision blurs and Tom starts to disappear. Shadow's eyes snap open. The night air is crisp, the cave around him dimly lit by the faint glow of the outside world. He's not back in the lab. He's not back in the stasis pod. He's free. And yet, his body doesn't believe it. His fingers curl into the rocky surface beneath him, seeking stability, grounding himself in the present. His inhibitor rings vibrate. His rings that he'd been lucky enough to find soon after the fall. But it feels like they no longer fit, like they aren't his. The Chaos Emeralds hadn't been so lucky. They aren't anywhere in sight, and he doesn't think he has the strength to go looking for them. He swallows hard, squeezing his eyes shut. The ghost of the dream still lingers. Tom's pained expression, the feel of the glass beneath his palm under the glove. Why is he still seeing these things? Why, when he's finally free, does it still feel like he's not? Rain lashes against the pavement, cold and relentless, soaking through his fur. His breath comes in short, frantic bursts, heart hammering against his ribs. He knows this place, knows this moment, but something is wrong. His vision blurs, shifting between the present and the past. The chaos of the fight swirls around him, soldiers shouting, gunfire crackling through the air. But none of it matters. Because there, standing in front of him, is Shadow. Then everything twists. Shadow moves, his form a dark blur against the rain-slick streets. Sonic sees it, the flicker of something shifting in his eyes, the way his muscles coil in that split second before he attacks. And then Tom. His dad's face flickers into view. barely a breath of hesitation between what was and what is. The rain drips from his hair, his eyes wide with confusion. Shadow doesn't stop. Sonic tries to yell, tries to move, but his body is frozen. It's a memory, a scar carved into his mind. Shadow's fist slams into Tom's stomach with crushing force. The sound of impact is deafening. Tom's breath leaves him in a strangled gasp as he's sent flying backward, his body crashing onto the pavement with sickening finality. He doesn't move. No. Sonic's knees hit the ground beside him, hands pressing against his chest, shaking, trying to do something, anything.
Dad! Come on, we gotta go. Please wake up, Dad!
His voice cracks, raw and desperate. He wills him to sit up, to be okay, to just move. But he doesn't. And the whole world crumbles beneath him. The rain keeps falling, washing over the city, over the shattered pieces of this moment. Sonic's breath shudders, his vision swimming as he turns his head. Shadow is still standing there. Not moving, not helping, just watching, holding the key to the Eclipse cannon. Sonic stares at him, disbelief and anger and something else he can't name twisting inside him like a knife. His throat feels too tight, like it's trying to choke him with the words he can't force out. You did this. You hurt him. Shadow's eyes shift, but he says nothing. He doesn't even try to justify it because what could he even say? Tom is no longer on the ground. He's standing looking right at him. His hand is against the glass of the stasis pod. Sonic wants to reach out to return his touch, but he can't even look his dad in the eye.
How could you? How could you hand me over the gun?
He demands, anger coursing through him. Tom doesn't respond. When Sonic looks up, Maria is staring at him instead. He doesn't understand.
They had no choice.
Maria tells him. Her voice is gentle, but her words hit like a strike to the chest. His heart pounds, his pulse erratic. Sonic only lets out a pained scream.
They left me.
His vision blurs, the glass shatters, the rain disappears. Sonic's eyes snap open. Pain is the first thing he registers, the first thing that tells him he's still here, still alive. He wishes he wasn't. Shadow isn't sure how much time has passed since the fall, but the pain should be better by now. Yet it's like his body is refusing to heal. A broken gasp rips from his throat as his body convulses, curling inward, instinctive, desperate to shield itself from the agony tearing through him. His arms wrap around his middle, his fingers digging into his side where the pain is worst, like he can claw it away, like he can stop it. But it doesn't stop. Spreads. It's a wildfire beneath his skin, searing through his ribs, twisting into his lungs. His chest feels like it's caving in, crushed beneath an invisible force, ribs screaming with every shallow, ragged breath. His lungs refuse to expand properly. The air he can drag in is thin, useless, burning as it enters and worse as it leaves. His legs pull up against his stomach, body instinctively seeking the smallest shape possible, as if curling in on himself will make the pain go away. But it follows him. It burrows deeper, carving into his bones, his muscles, every inch of him wrong. His pulse pounds behind his eyes, hammering in his skull, erratic and weak. His limbs shake, every nerve raw and exposed. He can't move. He doesn't want to. The effort it takes feels impossible, like the weight of gravity is still pressing him into the earth, keeping him down. A strangled noise slips past his mouth, strained and quiet. It's all he can manage. There's no light here. No sound beyond his own broken breathing. Just darkness. Just agony. And still he's alive. Why? A bitter thought flickers through the haze.
I should have died.
He was supposed to die. Why didn't the cannon work? His body shudders violently, the movement sending another sickening wave of pain through his chest. His breath hitches, locking up entirely, his body rebelling against him, lungs refusing to work. His hands press harder against his chest. A gasp, more pain, and then air, but not enough. Not enough. Never enough. He shakes, curling in tighter, his body trembling under the weight of its own suffering. It's not even the physical pain that really bothers him. He should be used to it by now. He was ready to see her. But Maria isn't here, and that hurts worse than the physical pain. His vision swims as he forces his eyes open, but there's nothing. Just blurred shadows, shapes he can't focus on. His mind is slipping, dipping into unconsciousness, dragging him away from the pain like bubbles underwater. But not far enough. Not far enough to forget. Kyle sits in the dim glow of the control room, eyes flicking between multiple monitors displaying Sonic's vitals, brain activity, and energy output. He takes another bite of a donut. The guard who had led him and Tom to the stasis pod nods down at the donut box, still full. For now.
You better save the Boston cream ones for me this time. I have to go check on the other 2 aliens.
He says with an annoyed grunt as he walks out of the control panel room. Kyle grins to himself. He's definitely not saving any Boston cream donuts, just like the time before Project Shadow escaped. But this time, everything should be stable. The stasis pod is calibrated, the containment parameters have been optimized, and Sonic's body has remained within normal readings since his last sedation. And yet, something is wrong. A sharp spike in one of the graphs catches his attention, the sudden jump in energy levels making his stomach tighten. He frowns, fingers flying over the console as he brings up a more detailed scan of Sonic's readings. The blue waveform fluctuates erratic pulses of energy rippling through Sonic's system, inconsistent with anything Kyle has recorded before. He rubs the bridge of his nose underneath his glasses. This isn't normal. Not for Sonic, not for any known biological specimen they've studied. The energy pattern isn't just irregular, it's unstable. 1 second it spikes dangerously high, then it drops into a lull so deep it barely registers. Kyle mutters under his breath, pulling up comparison charts from previous recordings. His mind automatically runs through possibilities. Maybe it's a delayed reaction from the containment process. Maybe Sonic's body is still adjusting to the pod's environmental controls. Then he sees it. His breath catches as he isolates the readings, filtering out unnecessary data and overlaying it against past records. Another energy signature populates the screen, which shouldn't even be possible since Sonic is currently the only subject here. This waveform is red. Kyle's blood runs cold. This signature hasn't been active since Project Shadow broke free. The 2 waveforms align. Not perfectly, but just enough to show correlation. Enough to suggest something impossible. Kyle's fingers hover over the panel, hesitation creeping in. He knows this pattern. He knows who it belongs to. He's seen this energy signature before. He knows it like the back of his hand. Kyle pulls up archived data from Project Shadow, watching the 2 screens at the same time. The 2 wavelengths drift closer together on one screen, echoing each other across distances they shouldn't be able to cross. Red and blue merge together. The single red wavelength on the old Project Shadow screen is almost exactly the same as the new red wavelength. Sonic's vitals spike again. Another erratic surge of energy that shouldn't be happening while he's sedated. Kyle's eyes flick to the stasis pod from behind the control room's glass wall. Sonic is still. His breathing is steady, his body motionless, locked in artificial sleep. And yet, something is reacting to him. In turn, Sonic is reacting to the other energy signature. His face twisting slightly in pain every now and then, but the pod does its job and keeps the pain from becoming too intense. Pain that's being well managed because it had managed someone else's pain the exact same way.
Sonic said he didn't make it.
Wachowski had said. But this new data is starting to prove otherwise.
He and Shadow worked together.
Wachowski had also told him. Together. The energy signatures beep simultaneously. This isn't just an anomaly. This is something else entirely. What's left of the last Boston cream donut falls out of his other hand. Kyle leans back, his eyes wide as he utters the only 2 words he can think of.
Holy cow.